How often have you recorded video on your GoPro and found out after the fact that the footage was very shaky? Now, unfortunately, this is very normal for GoPros because they typically don't have decent image stabilization, but with something like this, that problem can suddenly go away. Hello guys, how are you? David and Franco here from davidandfranco.co, personal website, link right below, check it out, I appreciate it. Okay, so today's video is all about my first gimbal ever, and I'm actually really glad I'm finally getting my own gimbal because years ago at CES in Vegas, one of the best trips of my life, I fell in love with a gimbal for the GoPro and I told myself I would buy one. And unfortunately that day never came because I kind of soon forgot about it, you know, just over time because life gets busy. But then a company reached out to me recently and said, David, would you like to review the ViewFlex 3-axis handheld gimbal for video? In other words, for the GoPro. So of course I said yes, because this is going to be very exciting, especially for me, a creator who uses the GoPro pretty much daily. And there it is, the GoPro Hero 4. I use this every single week for the patrons only of Lockety Vlog. I upload it every Friday. I love my GoPro Hero 4, and shout out to my friend Josiah. This was actually a gift from him because he found himself not using it all that much. And as you can see, it's been through a lot. The front plate is kind of coming off. It's kind of scratched on the sides, but the lens is great. And of course, the video and audio quality both sound great. Okay, so anyway, let's open up the gimbal. I'm going to do a very brief unboxing for you guys. And then of course, I'm going to focus on the more important part of the video, which will give you a great idea of how the GoPro looks with and without a gimbal. So, let's do this. Unboxing time, guys. And there it is. Upon opening the box, right away, you get the gimbal. It's fairly large and fairly heavy. Obviously, that's to be expected with a gimbal. So there you go. Wow, this is going to be very nice. It has a built-in LED just to further illuminate your video, because I will say, as much as I love the GoPro, low light performance is pretty bad. So in theory, this should help in those low light situations. Okay, so of course this has a lot to learn. I don't know how advanced I'm gonna get with this gimbal, but I'm just excited for one feature alone: stabilized video. And in theory, this thing should make my GoPro video look so much better. And I believe by pressing a button a few times, you can activate 360-degree mode. So I think automatically it can rotate for you in place, which is really neat. And over here we have zoom controls, which I probably don't recommend. Zooming on the GoPro isn't something I recommend doing to begin with, because you're gonna be using digital zoom. All right, we do have included batteries, because of course this gimbal does require power. We also have a manual, very cool. Looks like some kind of warranty information, maybe, or just some kind of registration. There you go. Warranty card. This little white box. We have, let me see. Come on. Micro USB, which I gotta say feels really nice. And it's a flat cable, which is awesome. Here are the batteries I mentioned, 900 milliamp hour each. You get 2 of them because this does require 2 batteries. Oddly tight packaging, like they jam these in there. I don't know why it's so tight. It doesn't need to be that tight. It's kind of ridiculous, actually. Thank you so much for sending this gimbal, but can I give some honest customer feedback? It should not be that difficult to unbox your product. That was a pita. That was a true pita. Anyway, moving beyond the somewhat frustrating unboxing experience, let's pop the batteries into the battery compartment and then get this gimbal powered up, and I'll give you guys some test clips of how this gimbal performs. So obviously negative to negative. That's actually really cool. Check this out. It kind of slides down. Interesting. Oh, I see. This is just the battery charger. Okay, you plug the micro USB cable into the battery charger. Yeah, I was gonna say, how is this gonna fit onto this? Because this probably unscrews on the bottom. Yeah, there you go. And the batteries just slide in like a flashlight. Alright, I'm gonna get the batteries charged for a bit, and then we'll jump over to the test clips. Alright, I'm not using the gimbal yet. Hello, Maui. We're gonna go outside and see how this performs. I did just test it myself off camera, and I gotta say, without even recording, I can already tell it's gonna be extremely smooth. This thing is already blowing my mind. Alright, so to power it on, you hold down the power button and you'll see it go into place. Give it a second. Am I even pressing it? Oh, there you go. Okay, there's no GoPro in there yet, so let's turn that off. That is good to know. You probably should not turn the gimbal on if there's no camera on it, because then the weight is kind of thrown off. Okay, so before I get some test clips, let me walk down without the gimbal. Just me walking down my steps, walking into my somewhat dead backyard because it's still winter here. And we got a fairly bumpy terrain here, so the footage should be kind of shaky, right? Yeah, there you go. Look at that shake. Look at that shake. Let's do a full walk around the gazebo. All right, almost there. I know, riveting, right? All right, so let's drop this onto, actually no, let's run upstairs to give you an idea. And now let's switch to the gimbal and see how it looks. Okay, we're on the gimbal. Check that out, guys. Check that out. A simple turn, right? Now let's lower the camera, and the gimbal is at 90 degrees now. 0 degrees. 90 degrees. Very cool. There are a few different modes to keep in mind. I think there is a locking mode because right now it's kind of turning by itself. But as you can see, the footage is very stabilized. Look at that. That is so cool. Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out the locking mode. This is just a test video. Of course, I'll have additional details on how this works in future videos. Now let's lower. Look at that. I'm turning my arm, but it might not seem like it because the gimbal is doing the work for me. Very interesting. Run test. Up the steps. Not bad, right? Not bad. Going back inside, let's see how this looks in front of the mirror. That way you guys can actually see what it looks like. Alright, there's the mirror. Turning the light on. Very nice. You can easily turn it up by simply flicking your thumb up, or turn it down by flicking your thumb down. Not bad. Turn it off. Turn it off, there you go. Turn it back on. Now that's interesting. The light flashes as the gimbal was turning. I wonder why that is. Very interesting. So for now, let's turn that off. Let's turn my light on. And now this is what I see. Check it out. Isn't that cool? It's actually staying in place as I put the gimbal down at 90 degrees. Very, very interesting indeed. So guys, what do you think? Are you impressed? I had to figure out the locking mode because I can feel the camera getting away from me as I do something like this. It's like, wait a minute, come back. But there are a few different modes. Let me read them off to you real quick, and then I'll let you guys go. But let me know how the video looks. Does it look good? Is it stabilized? Because I am fully relying on your feedback, so please comment right below. And if you guys want, I will make another video in the future showcasing just stabilized footage and some kind of like music montage. So if you're interested in that, like the video and comment below. I appreciate it. So we do have different locking modes. Let me see here. This is interesting. I'm actually using the gimbal as a tripod, or a monopod in this case, and it's balancing perfectly. Alright, so let's see the different locking modes we have here. Multiple working modes. We have half following working mode, full following working mode, locking plus hand positioning working mode, and you can use a wireless remote, which is not included, but you have the option of doing that, and all that good stuff. So yes, there you have it. There's only so much I can talk about right now with this gimbal, because as I made clear, this is my first gimbal. So this is completely new territory for me. But as you can see, it's not bad, not bad. I'm obviously going to need some practice with it. But first impressions, very positive. I will link this gimbal right below. Treat yourself. And of course, huge thanks to the makers of ViewFlex for sending us out my way. I appreciate it. Hey, come back here, come back here. And I'll see you guys next time.